Hey everyone, it's time for another weekly update, and it's been another very volatile and very interesting week in crypto. And I want to start with probably the biggest news from last week, and to be honest, in this month, Elon Musk finalized the deal for Twitter, and he started right away with firing the top executives. And this, of course, caused massive bumps in any Elon related coins, like, for example, Doge chain. This even started a little bit earlier before the official announcement, but you see we had a second leg up and we are up here around 400, 700% almost to the top, and currently around 480% at the levels that were here. Elon's favorite Dogecoin also had a massive push to the upside of around 150 to 100% at the maximum point, and you can see here now we are retracing and probably kind of consolidating around this level around 11 cents. Shiba Inu also had a little bit of a pop here above both moving averages, and it was pretty much a sympathy play to all the meme coins. And this was also triggered by the very strong week that we had last week in stocks. Just on Friday, we were up around 2.5%, and this closed a gain of around 4% on the week for the S&P 500. People are expecting this week's Fed meeting to go very well. Yes, we might have a 75 basis point increase in the interest rates, but people are starting to expect an ease down on these hikes. And that's what actually causing the pop in stocks and also in crypto. However, I'm not really quick to say that the bear market is over, because you can see here that we have a very clear structure of lower highs, and on the daily chart on the S&P we are right at another level of resistance, which is the 100-day moving average, and also some reactions around here. So I think this week is very key, and most importantly, it's very key what the Fed message will be. And we have to just wait and see. I'm expecting another very volatile week. We're gonna see in which direction. And based on what's happening this week, I'll probably be making more moves also in the future. And when it comes to crypto, I've closed quite a lot of short positions in the last week, starting with my Bitcoin hedge. As you can see here, on the week we were up around 5.5%, and we are right at the 100-day moving average. I had my stop loss on my hedge short right above it, but in hindsight this was probably a little bit too tight of a stop, just because it's crypto and usually it doesn't just test the 100-day moving average and then retrace. However, I'm not too mad about this because as you can see, even on the 4-hour chart, we're kind of climbing higher, and there's a potential that we break above this 100-day moving average. Around $21,000 is the level of resistance I'm currently looking at. And I might actually probe a quick day trade for a long here, because on Bitcoin, you can see the next level up that potentially we might reach if stars align, obviously, and if the Fed is not too hawkish in their comments. Somewhere around here, $22,500 might be a good level. Even, here around $25,000, we might get a retest of the 200-day moving average. Another reason that I'm considering this trade is also because Ethereum, as the last time around, is actually leading the way, and you can see that we already had a breakout above 1400, and then we had a continuation and a break above the 100-day moving average, and currently we're quite close to the next level up, which is 1700, which coincides with the 200-day moving average. So I wouldn't be surprised Bitcoin to play catch up somewhere around here and also show some strength here. When it comes to Ethereum, I also closed my hedge here at break even. I'm okay with this. This is just to protect my holdings to the downside. I have plenty of Ethereum exposure, and if it decides to go into a bull run, I'll be totally fine, and I'll be actually happy about this. And potentially, if we get to retest the 200-day moving average, it might be another good short setup for Ethereum. That's also what I'm looking at. And the other couple of positions that I closed completely were IMX, and you can see that here this was a very good call because we had a short squeeze on Friday and Saturday, and IMX was consolidating around this level, so around 57 cents. I took some profit here, and when I start seeing the strength and the price breaking above and holding above this level, I decided that okay, I want to lock up the gains here in case we get this type of a short squeeze. Very similar thing happened with IXS, although we had the token unlock, and as you can see, IXS played out a little bit slower. We were again consolidating around $9, and then we had a pop. My stop here was a little bit more generous just because it's a smaller size position for me, and we also had the selling pressure from the token. But I think this kind of coincided with the little bull run that we're currently in, and probably a lot of the holders were expecting, okay, we might get a pop and I might be able to sell at a better price, and pretty much that's what's happening currently. So I will potentially look for another short setup, but I'm totally fine with how this trade went. I took some profits. We didn't get to the next targets below. I closed the position at additional profits, and we move on to the next one. I'm still being very cautious with all kinds of fresh setups, and I'm trying not to FOMO into too many bullish setups. Just because I'm expecting a lot of fake outs to happen, and also I'm expecting a lot of volatility, as I mentioned. And as you can see here on Dogecoin, we had quite a lot of liquidations during the weekend, just because people are totally insane, I would say. They're not rational, and whenever they see Elon buying, for example, Twitter, and they jump on the Doge wagon, they buy the top, and obviously they're underwater quite a lot, or even they get liquidated. I'm cautiously optimistic that we might have some more upside, but if we look into the bigger picture, and if we just jump to the weekly on Bitcoin, you'll see that we still have no signs of higher highs. We are actually having equal lows here all through this support area of around 18,000, and then we have lower highs here on the higher time frames. So unless we start breaking above 22 or 25k, I wouldn't be very quick to get bullish. And as you can see here above, we have plenty of resistance, including 22k, then the 200 weekly moving average, then 25k and 28k. So there's plenty of places to get rejected. And also you might have noticed that earnings season is not going so well, especially for the big boys like Meta, Google and Amazon. And long term, this could spell more trouble, and I don't think we're definitely out of the woods. So I'm being cautiously optimistic, but also I'm looking for good setups that I showed you also on Bitcoin. And I'm also continuing to research every week new projects that are potentially good accumulation plays for the long term and for the next bull cycle. So as usual, I'm gonna keep you updated on all of these. That's everything for this market update. And if you have any questions, you know how to find me.